You are listening to the Self-Trust Solution Podcast with Dawn Ledet, episode number 31. Welcome back. Today I want to share with you my own daily journey of getting better at being me. This episode is great for anyone who wants to get better at being authentically you. We're going to talk about what we often do instead, the key to make a change, the other side of our flaws, and what to give airtime to. Is self-trust holding you back? Visit me at theselftrustcoach.com and take the free self-trust quiz. Find out where self-trust may be holding you back and receive instant results along with what you can do in response. Take the free self-trust quiz at theselftrustcoach.com. Now on to the episode. I get better at being me every day. Now, that wasn't always the case. Instead, I could say quite the opposite. While now I know and believe that I was always working my way here, the path included long periods of time where I actually was very far from myself, who I truly am, and who I was becoming and who I wanted to become, how I wanted to direct that becoming. I was reaching for things and people outside of me to fill a hole that didn't actually exist. And I see that now with so many of my clients as well, that that's what happens to many of us. We spend time and energy trying to get and prove something about ourselves that's already there. So many of our so-called flaws are actually gifts when we stop trying to fix them and find the underlying gift. When we stop looking outside of ourselves and start looking in, stop arguing with both ourselves and others needing either to change in order to feel better. And look, change is good, necessary even, but often it looks very different than what we think. And it's always an inside job. We can't actually change the other people. Now, can we want to spend time with people who do and say things differently? 100%. But our opportunity is in ourselves. Because if we're believing, we're solid in who we are, and we actually give ourselves permission to like that person, it really does neutralize anything that other people are going to share about us or think about us. And oftentimes what we think that people think isn't actually based in fact. So when we embrace who we are today, we actually are able to become more of who we truly are now and want to be tomorrow and into the future. And everything you need to make that up, it's already right there inside of you. So for me, it looked like I was too much and not enough at the same time. Maybe you can relate. But the truth was so much more complicated and beautiful than that. But the extremes of one or the other meant I was missing out on all the beautiful middle and the gift that the whole spectrum between what I was calling too much or not enough included. But it takes some honest introspection. And it has to be led by love and curiosity. Time spent interested instead of judgmental and dismissive. It means time spent open to both our hurts and our hopes. Getting to know the corners of ourselves with compassion, seeking our deepest truths instead of trying to run away from them and avoid them and judge them. For me, this meant giving airtime to all of it without shutting it down or pushing away the parts that were uncomfortable. It meant quieting the noise of outside opinions of me. And some of those opinions were actual, like words people said. I don't know if they really believed them. We can't actually ever know. But some were also just created by my own interpretation of what people said and maybe how they looked at me. Or they could have done neither. And I still would be imparting my own judgments on other people as if they were having those thoughts, of which, of course, I never knew. And I see this so often. So I had to decide who I wanted to be and then look for all the ways I already was that person. And I was, and I am, and you are. For me, it meant letting go of judgment and criticism and trying to prove something about myself, either to me or to others. Without the judgment, when I turned off the judgment, and believe me, it doesn't completely go away, but when I was able to intentionally be curious and drop the criticism and judgment, my overconsumption that I would judge myself of, always reading and listening to information and always seeking outside voices, without the judgment and criticism, that just became a love of learning, which I can actually celebrate about myself. Without the need to prove myself, my thoughts that I was too much is actually just a deep love and appreciation for people and experiences. And I can hold so much compassion for showing up maybe in a way that might seem too much. When that's my fuel, that's the reason why I can celebrate that. Without the criticism, my not enough was actually a sincere delight in quiet contemplation and intimate conversations. And I can absolutely celebrate that. And the list goes on. Seeking out what we believe are flaws and getting really curious with them can open up so much awareness to the beauty that lies underneath. What is the why underneath it? And having so much compassion for everything you find. Getting better at being me each day doesn't mean I never judge or criticize myself. And it certainly doesn't mean I don't try to blame people and circumstances for how I feel sometimes. But because I've opened up this dialogue, I spend so much more time learning from and about myself with love and curiosity, with trust that it's good to be me. How is it good to be you? What can you stop judging and criticizing about yourself and start seeing the beauty within? What will you take away from today's episode? My goal is for you to get to know all the ways it's good to be you. What are you seeking that you think you don't have? In what ways do you have what you need, not actually need it, or can give it to yourself? I invite you to look for the gift underneath your so-called flaws. And look where you can stop judging and start appreciating all your good. I love this quote from Buddha that says, "You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection." I 100% agree. Thank you for joining me today on the Self-Trust Solution podcast. If you love this episode, don't forget to share it with your friends and family. And if you have any topics you'd like us to explore, email me at dawn@theselftrustcoach.com. Join us next week for episode number 32. Thanks for tuning in and have a trust-filled week. Hey, if you're ready to build unshakable self-trust to achieve your goals and make the impact you're being called to make in a way that feels amazing, join me in Coach for Life. Coach for Life is the coaching program to build self-trust and achieve your goals. Join now at theselftrustcoach.com/Coach for Life program. That's Coach, the number 4, Life program. See you inside.